Welcome to That Game Show, the awkward, inappropriate, random podcast that occasionally talks about games.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to That Game Show. I am your host, Chase Bunker, joined alongside, as always, is Kyle Homestead. Thank you all very much for listening. If you'd like to hear this episode, please subscribe, rate, review, like, comment, subscribe, all that typical mumbo jumbo that all the shows say before every YouTube or podcast thing. Kyle, why are you looking at that?
Is the episode over?
No, I feel like they've also been like more podcasts I've been listening to, the more they've just been like, hey, you should like, comment, subscribe, or hit that follow button or whatever like podcasting platform. Do you think I should just stop promoting ourselves and then say
I've always found this to be straight. Humor me for a second.
Okay.
So, we always have like the like, comment, subscribe thing at the end of every YouTube video. That was like the common 2000s, 2010s, 2020s.
Yes.
Like ending. So,
and then the dubstep.
To get that, right, yeah. Then the whole outro, they're like, no, XJ6 Studios. We make studios look like good. And then stuff like that. So I always wondered this. How do you get that far into most videos and having not like commented or subscribed? Like, I don't comment on really any videos, so that's out the window.
Yeah.
I'll like a lot of videos. But like most times to get to a video, I feel like you have to be in some way, shape, or form subscribed. And if you weren't already, is me telling you going to be the thing that makes you do it?
That is a very good question. And I think what's funny is like I thought the same thing, but apparently there have been stats that show like if you mention like, comment, subscribe, people will do it, as opposed to videos that won't do it. But I've been kind of the same way with you. That's always been my YouTube like choice per se, where it's like I'm not going to click subscribe on you immediately. Like I'm going to watch a few videos and then I'm going to hit like, comment, subscribe, whichever.
I've had some YouTube videos that I watched where I was like kind of enthralled by it. And I'm like, this is some good content. And then like I finished their little block series and I move on to like what they usually do. And I'm like, oh, this is,
Like, has anybody ever watched a video and just go, oh, wow, that was really good. And they close it out and go, oh, crap, I forgot to hit subscribe because the person didn't tell me.
Yeah, like, by the way, at the end of the video, like, most times once I realize the video is about to end, I'm just like, and I'm out. Like, I don't need to listen to the whole, thank you for listening today. And I'm like, I feel thanked.
Yeah,
we do that, so, like,
yeah, I think that's, like, we technically thank them twice. Like, I do the thanking, and then Shane does the thanking. It's a whole thank-off right there.
We have a lot of thanking.
We do. Maybe it's because we're grateful people.
I'm grateful for every single person that listens to this podcast and or video and or potential short.
I don't know if this is clever enough for a short. I think we're getting too meta here.
You want... Oh, breaking the fourth wall, huh?
Maybe a little bit. As of recording this, Summer Game Fest just kicked off, also known as Key 3 to some people in the industry because of Jeff Keighley setting this whole thing up now. For some, this was a highly anticipated event. Others, if you were excited about the PlayStation Showcase, you kind of got a little bit more of what you were excited about going in. Kyle, have you had a chance to watch it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, not gonna lie. Kind of thought that was the reason you wanted to record today.
It was.
So you wanted to record for Summer Game Fest.
I did. Well, I didn't really know it was happening, but I did in a cosmic sort of way.
What? Did you look at your horoscope and it said Summer Game Fest going to happen later?
No, dude. We don't say that word. That's one of the words we can't say.
You can't say horoscope?
No. That's right up there with like a ho-scope or a slut-scope. You can't say any of those. Wow. I mean, you're going to have to bleep out all four of those.
Great. Okay. Excellent. Very good.
Just saying. You said it. You said it first.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out why you said I want to record. And I said, okay, because you never want to record.
That's
never
not true. That's not true. I always want to record.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me rephrase that. You don't initiate that you want to
Okay,
record.
That's fair.
You
I will give you that
texted
one.
me, when do you want to record? And I
We were
said,
talking about how good the short did, and I was very happy. And I was like, let's make another short, or actually an episode, and see if a short happens.
yeah, we can't just make a short. Like, it's like forcing out a joke. Like, it's funnier when it happens more naturally. So you just wanted to record just to record. It wasn't because of Summer Game Fest.
I didn't even know that was happening.
This is what I get for assuming reasons for why you want to record.
I mean, what's the point? I mean, without E3 dictating my life, I don't know if I particularly care. Like, okay, how about this? What studio presented today? What was the big game drop?
It was kind of a giant culmination. So it first started off with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which as soon as I saw, I'm like, you don't have to play anything else. Like, I'm done. You guys just topped it. And now they're gonna announce more over at the Ubisoft conference, which I believe is going to be on the 12th. So we're gonna see a little bit more of that. This is probably the first time in a while I'm actually looking forward to a Ubisoft conference, because like, Ubisoft conferences are just usually all the same. Because it's usually like, hey, we're going to give you this Far Cry trailer. Hey, here's more on The Division. It's going to be in space this time. Or, hey, we know you want a Splinter Cell game, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to take Sam Fisher and put him in Rayman. Like, it's just something like I'm always disappointed in the end. But at least with this Prince of Persia announcement, I'm excited about it.
Like, every game displays the same. They're all showing games. Am I wrong?
Okay, yes, but like Ubisoft, you could literally just time out. Like, oh, up next is going to be probably Assassin's Creed. Oh, up next is probably going to be like they have the same rotation over and over, and so like they're very predictable. Whereas like if it was something else, like you don't know what you're gonna get. I kind of know what to expect when it comes to a Ubisoft conference.
So one might say, like, the other conferences are kind of like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're gonna get.
If this was the Forrest Gump conference, then yes.
Interesting. Tell me more about this Ubisoft conference that you're looking forward to.
Well, it's going to show more on Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We probably won't see anything on the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake because of it's been essentially, I don't want to say shelved, but it's delayed for a while. But other than that, like, they might show more information on the new Assassin's Creed game, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Far Cry announced. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
How many times can one Far Cry? Do you understand? Like, I Far Cry. I have Far Cried again. I have Far Cried 3 times today, let alone.
I feel like we could say that. We could say that about a lot of games where, like, Lost Kingdoms, for example. It's like, how many times can you lose a kingdom?
Yeah, seriously. How do you lose a kingdom? You just, like, you blink and it's gone. You're like, damn, it happened again.
Yeah.
Can't believe this. I mean, granted, we've had Prince of Persia. This guy's been a prince for a long time. One would wonder if he's, like, kind of building up his resume or kind of going on, you know. Do you content being a prince forever, or do you want to step it up, man?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could look at the royal family and you could understand like how long people can be princes.
Princes.
No, not princesses. Princes.
Prince is.
Why are we making this a grammatical thing now?
Prince is. Anyway, so Guerrilla Collective Showcase had their show today.
Okay.
Or yesterday, rather. Tell me about it.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, that's weird. Well,
I only saw the major announcement from the Game Awards Twitch page. They had a lot of great stuff. They showed the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so a continuation of the Final Fantasy remake. That looks great. What else? Showed a little bit of Spider-Man 2. We kind of already knew about that. We saw more of Mortal Kombat 1. It was violent. It was Mortal Kombat. We saw a
Okay, that
gameplay
way,
trailer of Alan Wake 2. That was something I was also really excited about. I'm really excied about that. So like right now, I came out of this presentation happy. You showed me Alan Wake, you showed me Spider-Man, you showed me Prince of Persia. You showed me games I was excited about. Sonic Superstars I thought was really cool. It's just kind of like a. Do you remember in I think it was Sonic Generations, like the 3D animation, but it was in the 2D background. Like it looks like it's gonna be more of that.
Wasn't that terrible?
No, I think Sonic Generations was one of the good ones.
Oh, weird. Most
Yeah.
Sonic games I just associate normally with being terrible.
Yeah,
but but intoxicatingly terrible. Like it's one of those games where you play it, you know it's terrible, but like it's I can't even say enjoyable. I feel like you play it because it's Sonic, and somehow in one way, shape, or form you have fun.
Sometimes, yeah. They also showed John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, which
Ooh.
I kind of saw it and I was just like, huh. Well, this is a game. It was just kind of like
one of the games of all time.
this is a game of all time. It was just like it looked like it was supposed to be like Left 4 Dead, but like everybody has like hero abilities. It looks like maybe I don't know.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, we could talk about Left 4 Dead things being Left 4 Dead-y and then flopping, and we could call it Back 4 Blood. But
yep.
we don't need to do that, do we?
Nope. There was also, I'm not kidding when I say this, there was Pal World. Have you heard anything about this? Pal World.
Pow, as in pow right in the kisser.
No, Pal as in P-A-L.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. Okay. No, I've heard nothing about that, but it sounds like a world in which you have a pal.
Technically, yes.
No,
I want you to guess. Like, I want you to guess just based off. Let's play this game. Let's do this game. I'm going to give you the name of a game, and I want you to tell me what you think it's about.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So let's start with Pal World.
Pal World. It's about a world where you've got a pal, and you have to get through the world utilizing your pal. Like, you two work together, but you can only go so far based on where your pal is.
Okay, so you're not incorrect.
Yes.
But think about it like this. It is a Pokemon game.
Oh.
But
okay.
I'm going to call this an American Pokemon game.
Oh, oh boy, I almost got us canceled.
It's Pokemon, and then you give them guns.
Oh, that was exactly what I was going to say. Okay. Never mind. We're not going to be canceled at all. That's fair.
I almost wish you did, and just so I could be like, oh, yeah, there you go. Let's see. Witchfire.
Oh, I got this one. Easy peasy. It's about a witch on fire.
Yep, there you go. That's, you know what?
Absolutely.
Yep. The Witchfire trailer I thought was very interesting because it said from the creators of
Left 4 Dead, Burn the Witch. No doubt.
Painkiller, Bulletstorm. Okay, so you know those two games.
No, but I do. Well, Bulletstorm I kind of know, but
okay.
like just the names of them.
Okay, so yeah, they're both like first-person shooter-esque games.
Okay.
So Painkiller, Bulletstorm, and The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Which I thought was so bizarre. It's like from the makers of Tetris and Grand Theft Auto comes this game.
In fairness, Tetris does have a booming soundtrack.
It does, but still, like, I felt like those were just two games were connected, and one of them was just like really out of the blue. And I liked Vanishing of Ethan Carter and Painkiller and Bulletstorm, but still at the same time, you put them all three together, you're like, wait, what?
You may just enjoy the burning witch burning.
Witchfire.
Almost had it.
Almost. Remnant 2, they showed some gameplay of that. That looked really good. I love the first Remnant. Have you ever played that?
I did not, but I'm going to go ahead and guess it's about the remnant of something.
Yes.
Probably evil.
Yeah, pretty much. Evil? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Under the Waves.
Wow, I'm really tricked about this one. Probably something about someone being under waves.
Yeah.
A surfer.
No.
Oh.
Scuba diver.
Oh.
All right, so we'll stop with this one. Lysfanga. Lysfanga.
Lesfanga?
Lysfanga.
Lisfanga.
Yes. I probably also should add the second part. Lysfanga, the time shift warrior.
Oh, dude, no doubt. This is about a vampire with a lisp who's stuck in the time warp.
Close. She's not a vampire, at least not yet.
She?
But it is
Oh.
a hack and slash kind of like it's kind of a hack and slash with some time bending elements. So you're not wrong with the time vortex.
So where does the lisp come from?
I don't know. I don't think there's a lisp, if that's what you're
Lysfanga.
asking. So I guess I would ask, did you have a favorite part or what were you excited about? But given the circumstances,
Well, I was excited for the recording. I'm happy for this. This is fun. There's a little games I just discovered. I would never have guessed Lysfanga time jump woman element was going to be a game. And now that I know, it's my world has changed. I'm a whole different man, and I think that my gaming experiences are broadened, and I can't wait to see what else happens.
you don't mean any of that, do you?
I do mean that I can't wait to see what else happens, but not for wholesome reasons. Mostly just because I want to know how we're gonna manage to promise a bunch of games that we're never gonna get given to us in a predictable manner. Like, hey guys, this game is gonna introduce an ever-evolving, I don't know, world of zombies, and then the game introduces and they forgot to code the zombies in because the game's not finished yet.
You think that Toxic Commando is just going to be a game about zombies, and then they're going to send it out, and they go, oh, crap, we forgot the zombies.
It's kind of like Fallout forgetting the Fallout. Doesn't really click, does it?
No, it doesn't. What is Fallout without the Fallout?
Farming simulator. Or dating simulator with a whole bunch of mods.
So it's a game that would be announced during a Nintendo Direct then?
Yeah, probably.
Chase Bunker.
Other notable things that was announced, Final Fantasy 16 got a new trailer.
Kyle Helmstetter.
I'm so excited for Final Fantasy 16. Like,
I'm not.
This is that game show.
So I got to admit, when Diablo 4 came out, I was really anticipating it, like, having a really botched launch, kind of like how 3 had a bad launch, how Overwatch 2 had a bad launch, like in all these recent games. And to see things go smoothly, I'm like, oh, this isn't entertaining at all. Like, I mean, yay, good for you, but I was kind of hoping for more of like the Blizzard chaos in a way.
My friend texted me, maybe, I don't know, maybe like the day of release.
Yeah.
And he texted me and he was like, hey, you guys play Diablo 4? And I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, that's Blizzard. Are you like completely out of the loop? Do you not watch that game show? Because I can guarantee you know my opinion on Blizzard. And he was like, no, I don't watch your show.
Rude.
And then he was, yeah, I know, right? And then he was also like, oh no, hey man, but I'm having a great time playing. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Did you just say you're enjoying a game that was released and it was made by Blizzard? And it was Diablo 4? But yeah, no, you're right. They nailed it.
They got it right. They had a good launch, which first, like, I wanted to roll on Blizzard because I hate the upper management. Like, I hate Bobby Kotick. I can't wait till he's gone from like as soon as he doesn't hold a position of power, I think Blizzard would be significantly better. But it's just like seeing them thrive again. It's like, okay, there is the slight semblance of the Blizzard of old there. And I think that's what also made me happy as well. It's like, okay, so the Blizzard that you and I know, it's still there, but it's just been masked by, bad launches, glitches, and all these like horrible administrators. Because here's the thing, like there was a lot of pressure on Diablo 4 because they kept pulling people from other projects to make this game. So like a lot of the people from Heroes of the Storm, they got pulled to do this. I think some of the WoW people got pulled in as well. Like it was after the Diablo Immortal announcement and the outrage behind that, Blizzard just pretty much like stepped up everything and said, all right, we need to get Diablo 4. Like we need something to show for next year. And that's why we got it the year after that, the next BlizzCon. And then you saw so many people work on it. It's like, okay, like this feels like Blizzard again. And it's kind of refreshing to see that. And I look at it and I think, man, if it wasn't for Tears of the Kingdom, we would have such a good race for Game of the Year already.
And we still may have that. Tears of the Kingdom is obviously a strong front.
It's a heavy favorite.
And we can talk about Bobby Kotick in a second. But I will say, like, is this something that I want to give praise to the developmental team for more so than the leadership? Absolutely. I think,
yes.
It really goes underrated that a lot of these employees of Blizzard have stuck around through a lot of like, and because I can't say, SHI, through a lot of stuff. And obviously the publicity that they've kind of had in the limelight lately has been sharing that whole workplace culture. And that's why we'll mention the whole Bobby Kotick in a second, because he's come out and said like, wow, that's just not true. And I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like we don't know what's really going on behind the closed doors, but I am inclined to believe a lot of those people. Like there's probably a culture that's probably very toxic.
Yes.
So like kudos. I mean, but seriously, churning this out, getting this out, like this is a reflection of their work ethic. This is absolutely, I feel like this is developers. This is this is the CGI team. Well, not CGI as much, but this is an art rendition team member thing. This is like good job for the grunts on the ground, really putting their heart and soul into this and getting out like a pretty solid product. For full credit, like I know they got pulled off projects that they probably were feeling more so or less so, but they still, I mean, shockingly, I was really surprised with how smooth it seemed to really go. I mean, damn, it was like looking at the old Blizzard again. But
I'm trying to think of the last time that Blizzard actually had a great launch. And the only thing I could think of is maybe Overwatch 1.
See, it's so hard to say because I actually didn't play Overwatch 1 for the first 2 months of being out because I wasn't certain on what I thought about it yet.
Heroes of the Storm had a buggy launch, or not buggy, it just was it wasn't smooth, let's just say that. Diablo Immortal had a bad launch. I'm just listing at this point. Diablo 3 had a bad launch. Overwatch 2, bad launch.
Oh, Overwatch 2 was really bad.
So I feel like it was Overwatch 1 had a good launch, and then after that, StarCraft 2? Hearthstone?
Oh man, I honestly going back that far, I feel like you couldn't have bad launches back then.
No.
Because your game was sunk if you had a bad launch.
Mm-hmm. Like, you're right. Like, if No Man's Sky came out... Let's just say if No Man's Sky came out in, like, the early 2010s, it wouldn't have survived.
Let's just say that I can't even confident... I know that it did come back and rebound as, like, the rebound game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I saw... very funny you mentioned that game. I actually was playing it today.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's on Game Pass, and I was kind of
okay.
bored, so I was just kind of scrolling through some games, and I was like... Oh, you know what? Let me fire it up for old time's sake. Like, it's free. Might as well. Still, like, it's a fun game, but maybe to me it just kind of lacks like certain entities that make it. There's a lot going on right off the bat, and it can be challenging. But that's a whole digression point.
Yeah.
That's a game that I really don't think survived. Even though it won Rebound Game of the Year and it kind of established a player base, it honestly really didn't survive for where it was supposed to be at, because the player base it was gonna have was massive. What it came out with was a fraction of half of what it thought it would get. Like, I can't even say it's survival. That's just like life support on full ventilation status that it just so happens to have a faint pulse.
Well, I think given the outrage of the launch, they could have easily have just said, yeah, this is it, and just jump ship. Like, they could have pulled an Anthem.
They could have.
I think the fact that they stuck with it, and mind you, they've stuck with it for a while, and they have a very solid player base.
They do. They have they managed to make a cult following within a video game. Well, good for them. You get those in movies a lot of times. Not super common all the times with video games. Not all, like, you do get cult little followings, but they really crafted one out. Good for them.
Yeah. I'm happy for them to see. I'm always happy to see success. And I guess, like, I say that, like, given, like, oh, we were kind of wanting Diablo to fail, but not really. Like, I just wanted to, like, I want to roll on Blizzard some more, because if Diablo failed, maybe Bobby Kotick gets ousted.
Yeah. So, that whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I personally did not like the comments, and I don't know if these were. I'm going to be digressing completely. I'm not sure if these were recent or not, but his statements claiming that the harassment was a mischaracterization of the media and it was more of an external influence kind of thing, not really harassment. I don't know, man. I feel like that's silencing the people that kind of came forward. And I know that this can be a dangerous, slippery slope. We've seen it in sports where this kind of thing happens. I just, like, we know that we know that gaming as a whole can be toxic. I just imagine that the workplace culture can't be any better sometimes. It's dominated by, typically ends up being males, and we know the way things can go sometimes when you're an opposite person trending into something that is dominated by one particular pedigree. It can be aggressive. So I just don't know how I feel about the whole squashing the comments and silencing it. Like, it seems really manipulative. I don't know.
It's very manipulative. Like, he's trying to kind of brush it under the rug, and it's again, it kind of just proves, like, how much of a POS he really is. Like, I don't want to say it was tone deaf, but it's like, hey, this probably isn't the thing that you want to say right now. Like, you probably shouldn't be in front of cameras right now. Like, the only reason we like the Microsoft Blizzard deal is because your butt's gone. Like, yeah, you kind of get the golden parachute, but at the same time, like, you're no longer a part of the Blizzard life. And that's the thing about it. And the thing is now
it's ignorant.
It's very ignorant. It's extraordinary ignorant. It's like if Riot came out right after that piece and they said, "Oh, it's just a little bit blown out proportion." No, they just flat out owned it, apologized, and they've tried to evolve from that. Like, him saying that, it's like, "Oh, everything you've said was a lie."
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, right? They had like upwards of 110, 120 complaints and filed like harassment claims. You're saying all 114 of them are completely out of whack and this is a blown out of proportion thing? Like, I don't understand. Like, you can have, like, and this is the thing, we know this out of just general, like, life companies. Even something as small as a group of 10 people can have a little bit of harassment within it. Just doesn't mean you have to make a legal lawsuit claim. It can still exist, and you say, you know what, that is a culture, that is a part of culture, and unfortunately, you know, it exists, and we're going to work to try to fix that. You just address it. Like, you don't have to say, like, oh my god, it definitely happened, for the legal part of it, but you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, that never ever ever happened, that's fake news. No, just I mean, I guess you could dodge around it if you wanted to, or you can say like, listen, with the ongoing stuff, it's not something that I want to publicly, speak on.
Mm-hmm.
But if if there's no concern over that either, just admit it. Like that is a reality of the world, and we can be better as people, but also as a company, and make sure that if that is ever happening, that we do what we can to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah.
I felt like it was an ignorant tone.
It was very ignorant. But plus side, I'm happy for the devs over at Blizzard in terms of a massive success. It will surely get a Game of the Year nod. Man, this year's been so great for gaming. Like we're not even halfway through, and we've already got like so many great games out this year. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if it wasn't for Tears of the Kingdom, this would be a crapshoot as to like who would be Game of the Year.
I will definitely give it's been a strong start. I want to see how the year ends, because I'm not sure how I feel about the ending of the year yet. I know that there's some games that are slated to release that may swing for the fences and hit the fence, but I feel like I'm not so sure about what things are anticipated, what things are coming up. We can talk about this actually in the next part, but without E3, I'm a little bit of a loss on like what to really expect. I feel like I don't know. I just don't feel like I know what's coming next.
Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll play. So I guess we'll do a tease here. We're not used to this. Coming up, we'll talk more about the E3 cancellation and its effect on the gaming industry. And I'm going to challenge Kyle to name 5 games on Steam. That's coming up next.
Chase Bunker.
The thing I think is going to be interesting is the space combat, because they haven't really done anything like that before.
Kyle Helmstetter.
So
space combat.
I don't know why you said it like that, but okay, cool.
This is that game show.
So I will ask you this. I have no idea why you decided to just interrupt my intro. As he just shrugs. That's great for the audio people. Thank you for that.
Meta.
You wanted to talk about E3, and I know that we're trying to have more games, or the return of games, back to that game show. I will ask you this. What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the game, or do you want to have the E3 conversation?
Let's have the quick E3 conversation.
Okay.
So this was the first year that's been canceled, truly canceled, not COVID canceled.
Not COVID canceled. Like last year was COVID canceled.
Last year was COVID canceled. This year was a true decision to say, like, you know what, I feel like there's a lack of interest. We're just not going to do it. And actually, no, 2020 was also COVID.
Well, 2020
was also COVID as well. I was trying to think.
There's been cancellations because of COVID. Like they had it, I believe, in 2021, but it was just there's the in-person conference like that we got today with Summer Game Fest. We haven't had that in a while.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Yes. So this is the true first cancellation from lack of interest and regarding that kind of thing. I definitely feel like, I mean, E3 was always one of those things where like it wasn't something I like exclusively looked forward to, but when it came on, by the end of the day, if I hadn't gotten a chance to catch these previews, I would always be able to find like a list and go and drop like a quick like, oh, there's a YouTube video out for this teaser or even trailer. If they're actually at the game development stage, and I would watch it and I'd be like, I'm really excited for this, or ooh, not sure how I actually feel about this. Without E3, I kind of feel like I have a general lack of direction with what's happening. Like they were so good at filtering what I felt like I should and shouldn't care about, and they still gave plenty of credit to like littler guys. I don't think it was like, oh, here's Bethesda and that's all we care about, or oh, here's EA. I thought that they did decently good with giving credit to the little guy, but like I definitely feel like so far with Summerfest, I don't know what to care about, and that's making it challenging for me to care.
Yeah, so I kind of understand where you're getting at. So first off, E3 as a whole, I've heard a lot of things about the E3 cancellation, and this wasn't just like because of the COVID year. Like this was like years prior that attendance has been poor. They've been like, it's been, if you remember E3 like back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, like it was this big spectacle, and then all of a sudden like it kept getting more scaled back, and then people they were talking about like the possible end of E3. They talked about it, I think in like 2014, 2015. And so COVID just kind of sped that up in a way. I was kind of surprised that we saw it canceled this year, and they're like, oh, it was because like it wasn't because of lack of interest, because we're all excited about it. We wanted the normalcy again. Like it's just very difficult to pull off. And what like Summer Game Fest is going to be the new E3. Like I would not be surprised if E3 just ceases to exist like after this year, because like look what Jeff Keighley's been able to pull off. Like he's not only pulled off the Game Awards, he essentially made a new E3, and it's very impressive. So there is that. So I think the downside to the lack of an E3 is I feel like there were days that you could kind of just like plan around a little bit, where it's like, oh, I want to see the Xbox and Bethesda conferences. I want to see like the PlayStation conferences. And then we had the conversation of who won. Was it Nintendo? Was it PlayStation? Was it Microsoft? And I loved that conversation so much.
That was fun. That was also big because I felt like it pushed the studios to be better. Like it wasn't just like, all right, we talked about this a lot with the EA specifically, or microtransactions, the reputation that they've developed. It was for the first, like to me, it was like, and obviously EA is cross-platform, but you talk about Xbox. Xbox is like, oh man, we have to beat PlayStation. And they put focus into things that were Xbox exclusive, and Sony did the same thing, right? All of these games that they had that were Sony exclusive, which I would say is probably for the most part more impressive than Xbox's list.
Yes.
They put heart and soul into making it that was their debut. And like when you would get a God of War, for instance, you were so hyped, and you're like, this might be the winner of the battle between Sony and Xbox this year, or the game console. You know, we had the mini fridge and the futuristic router.
Yeah.
We were all sitting there like, I don't even know who won, but this was so fun because they're competing against one another. All of these videos come out now, like, let's compare the specs. Let's take a look at the hardware. And you're like, I don't even care about all this stuff because they're about the same thing. But it's just fun because it was like, this is a true contest of studios and developers and just companies in general that pushed them to seem better than they were. And now it's like, there is no contest.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I think it's one of those, like, I remember, like, one of my favorite E3 moments was, and he talks about it in his book, Control Freak, in stores now. It was Cliff Bleszinski showing off the Gears of War and showing off this assault rifle gun that has a chainsaw attachment to it. Yeah. And so it just, like, that moment alone won E3 for Microsoft just because of this. And so I feel like we kind of lose out on some of these moments. I also feel like because of our accessibility to the internet, we don't get a lot of the grand announcements. Because it's like, we're going to get like little bits here and there. Like, oh, wow, there's this. And then that's it. Like, there will be, for every PlayStation Direct, every Nintendo Direct, every Xbox conference, whatever, there'll always be like one central game, and that's about it. Yes. Whereas E3 would always have like
boom, boom, boom.
Yes, precisely. And now it's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I feel like we kind of miss out on that.
Can you remember, like, I mean, I loved it when it was like teased, the Fallout 76 from Bethesda. Oh my, the absolute hype in that room was crazy. I was at home and I'm like, bro, I am so hyped. I was texting my friends. I'm like, did you just see? I don't even know what an online Fallout sounds so sweet. And I mean, we all know how it went, but like, but the reality was like, the moment that something dropped that somebody got hyped for, I felt like I was getting a text for it. Also, this is a complete anecdotal side note. I did look up the attendance for E3. The attendance, like you did say, it did drop starting from 2005 all the way up to 2009. But following 2009, the attendance actually went up every year. 2009 was 41,000. Now, granted, these are citational referenced, so they may be prone to errors based on what data was available, but 2009, they have 41,000. If you fast forward every year now, it increases up until 2016. So 2015 was 52,200. 2016 was 50,300. That was also the year that EA backed out and began EA Play. Prior to E3, but then in 2017, so 2016 they went down to 50,000. 2017 they did 68,000 because this was the first show that was open to the public. They would proceed to continue to increase this. 2018 was 69,000. Nice. 2019 they held steady 66,000. Again, though, notably, this was the year that Sony decided to step back and they started doing their own thing. So I think that ultimately there may be truth to the statement that the attendance kind of fluctuated and may have been trending downward. There's not really a lot of evidence, though, to say that they would have, in fact, lost attendance. I think really what it ends up being is game studios don't want to do it anymore. Sony backing out, EA backing out,
Nintendo.
It's only a matter of time before you start to see like Bethesda start jumping out, Microsoft start jumping out. You're not going to see some of these studios continue to go in on it if they can just do their own thing. And they save money by not having to pay for whatever sort of money entrance fee may be associated with the conference and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
you're absolutely right. That was the one thing I forgot about, because I remember Nintendo backing out, but I forgot that EA announced they weren't going to do it. They're going to do their own separate thing, and that slowly started the trend of, oh, we're just going to have our own little announcements.
Exactly. And with the whole, I mean, you think about the Blizzard deal with Nintendo, or the Blizzard deal with Microsoft. Granted, this came prior to 2023, so like, or prior to the
Blizzard just stopped going entirely. Like they just focused everything on BlizzCon, so we would never we never see anything from them.
And thus now raises the ideology that, all right, well, now you've got Microsoft and Blizzard. Does Microsoft pull Blizzard all of a sudden into it again? I doubt it. Rather, does Microsoft say, hey, Microsoft Con or bigger BlizzCon? Yeah, like Microcon. But now your whole theory is like, all right, well, now we're about to lose Microsoft on this, and there goes Xbox as almost a whole.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Xbox is going to do during this Summer Game Fest, because they're going to have to make a major splash before, or else, like, I don't want to say we're going to see the end of it, because I think it's really over dramatic, but like it's going to hurt for them.
They'll survive. They will be. I think they'll be okay. But I do think you're right. Like they do need to make some sort of splash in the market, because Xbox is getting dominated by PlayStation right now. Even though, I mean, it's not even actually close. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, let's go wrap this up with a game. Boy. If you missed it last episode, Kyle did challenged me to name that game. A lot of fun. So what I'm going to do now, and similar to your style, I am going to use Steam. However,
oh boy, I'm so terrible at these.
These are all games that you know exist.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to name me the top 5 most played games in a 24-hour period. So it's essentially from these 24 hours, essentially, I want you to name me the top 5.
Top 5. Okay. All right. Okay.
And we'll do this. We'll do this 20 question style.
This is. Oh, we'll do 20 question style. Okay.
Yes.
So, how do do you want me just to ask 20 questions in regards to any of the 5? Or?
Yeah, just any of the 5, or you can even start guessing if you want.
I would like to take one guess. I feel like Counter-Strike 2 has to be one of them.
It's not Counter-Strike 2, but it's Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'll give you that. Number 1, 1,661,000.
Absolutely. Not shocked. Yeah. I'm like Steam Counter-Strike. That is a literal match. So,
yes.
Cool. Okay, that's one. Nice. Let's see here. All right. Are any of the remaining 4 online multiplayer shooting games?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say, is one of them Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone?
No.
Or damn. Wow. Okay. That's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, right. So one of them, you said at least one of them is a online multiplayer shooter.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any of them that are online MOBAs?
Yes.
Okay. Are any of these
You
games...
can start also guessing, by the way.
I know, well, the whole Call of Duty Warzone thing not being...
Okay, well, how many MOBAs do you know?
Ooh, Smite, League of Legends, and Dota.
Is that your guess?
Is it Dota?
Yeah, Dota 2. Number 2.
Nailed it.
Number 2, 618,000. So you had number 1, Counter-Strike. Number 2, Dota. You need 3, 4, and 5. Well, technically it's number 6, but the number 5 is the Source SDK base. But we're not counting that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just doing that for the jackals out there that are going to jump on me about it.
You're like,
yep, that's exactly
okay. Wow. All right. So I got a shooter that's still left, and I have 2 unknown games.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think what just recently.
Now remember, you said I will also say, remember your question. You said at least one of them.
At least one of them. That's a good point. Okay. I'm just going to shoot it in the dark here again. Is Rust one of them?
Rust is number 7.
Oh, God damn it.
At 133. I thought about doing top 10, but like, that's going to take forever.
That will take forever.
And also, I didn't know if you'd get Naraka Blade Point.
Hell no. I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
Hell no. Okay. I was wondering if Rust would be. That's fine.
By the way, Warzone, to put in perspective, number 12.
Really?
Yes, 71,000 behind Team Fortress 2 and Destiny 2.
I'm guessing Destiny 2 is then not on there, which makes that easier.
Yep. There's your hit.
Yeah, thank God. All right.
Sorry,
let's see here. So I have 3 remaining.
You have 3. Yeah, you're at question number 5 coming up, and you have 3 games remaining.
Are any of the remaining 3 driving car-based games?
Yes, technically.
Frack. I wish you hadn't said technically.
Okay, well, give me your
example, or
yes.
like Forza.
It is not a game like Forza.
It is not a game like Forza. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Boy, oh boy, this is challenging. Okay. All right. Are any of the games non-AAA?
No, they're all
AAA. Okay.
Let me confirm one. Okay, so I would say one of them isn't technically AAA, and I'll clarify that statement once, if either you find it or the game is over, and I'll clarify it later.
Okay.
But I would say all 3 are not, or all of the whatever you said
of the remaining
English.
3.
Yeah. Not all of them are AAA.
Are any of the 3 remaining simulator games, as in Farm Simulator or Cooking Simulator?
No.
Didn't think so, but I was willing to take a shot on it. Okay. All right. Are any of the remaining 3? I'm trying to think of the exact terminology for it. It's like Civ style, so it's simulation.
Like an RTS?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Dang. All right.
Where is Civ on here? By the way, you're going on question 8.
Probably not that high. If
24.
Really? Wow.
Civ 6, 24.
Much higher than I thought. Okay. Let's follow up on that war game, that shooting game. Is this shooting game, or are of the shooting games, does it have a campaign?
Of the I will say one of them has a campaign.
So there's at least 2. Is one of them Rainbow Six Siege related?
What do you mean by related?
Never mind. I'm sorry. Rainbow Six Siege is the game. I was thinking Tom Clancy.
Is it?
My bad. Is it Rainbow Six Siege?
It is not Rainbow Six Siege.
Damn it.
You're at 10 questions now.
Halfway, and I got 3 games left.
You got 3 games left.
And 2 shooters that are shooting games. So okay, how about this? Are any of the remaining shooting games, or of the shooting games, are any of them battle royales?
Yes.
Okay.
Great question.
Then it has to be Apex.
Yes, one of them. Number 3, Apex Legends, 405,000.
Okay.
So you need 4 and 5, technically 6.
This other shooting game. Is it also a battle royale?
Yes.
Oh, ew. Gosh. Okay. Okay. There's only so many. It can't be Fortnite. That's their Epic.
Correct.
And I don't. DayZ is not going to be high enough for it to be DayZ. PUBG.
Is that your final answer?
And I think it can be installed through Steam. So yeah.
Yes, PUBG is number 4 at 341,000.
Wow, I managed to go 1 through 4.
You managed to go 1 through 4. So now you have your final question. You are at question 13.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go with question 12 because your other ones were just more like, oh, it's this.
Okay.
So here we go. Question number 12.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What's popular right now? Okay, let's see. Is this a sports game?
No.
Is this this must be the driving game. Okay. You said this was kind of a driving game, though.
Kind of, yes.
Okay. All right.
But it is not Forza. Or it is not like Forza.
It is not like Forza. So it has driving, but it isn't driving primarily. Is it a open world game?
Yes.
Okay. Is it an online game?
It is online. It can be played online.
Okay. So it has offline elements potentially, but online you can kind of drive, and
it's open world.
It's open world. I was gonna be like Minecraft, but that's not even on Steam.
No.
Okay, let's see.
I won't. I know that wasn't the question.
Does it have? Ooh, let's do rating. Is it rated? Let's go M. Most of the top games, it's got to be a shooting. You said it doesn't have to be a shooting game. It's got to be a driving. Let's go. Is it rated M?
Yes, it is rated M.
Okay, that actually does help, but it doesn't like give me anything big.
All right, question 15.
Does this game? Oh, is this game self-insert, as in you create your character based on who you want to be?
So, okay, I gotta clarify this.
Okay.
Yes and no. The online, yes. The offline, no.
Got it. Is it GTA?
Yes, it's GTA.
I knew it. I was like, there's like nothing left that you do drive in, but it's not drive-in based, rated M, create your own character, but online only.
Number 6 at 161,000. Rust was shortly after that with 133,000. Nakara Blade Point, number 8, 109, followed by Wallpaper Engine. Don't know why. So we'll shift that down to Destiny at 77,000, TF2, and then Call of Duty. And then, actually, no, that would be, you wouldn't get it. I was going to say, that could be the subject to the next game of the top games, which one's going to be a sport game, but I don't even think you'd get it.
Is it FIFA?
No. It's just above FIFA.
It's just above FIFA and it's a sports game. Is it MMA?
No.
Is it cricket?
Is it what?
Cricket?
No. I don't think there's a single good cricket game out there.
I don't know. I've never played cricket games.
It is Football Manager 2023.
Oh, yes. That is actually becoming a bigger thing. Maybe a topic for a future episode. But yeah, people want to boycott EA a little bit more and more every time. So you're starting to see some of those other ones pop up.
Yeah, IGN is just literally copying, pasting their FIFA reviews for the Switch.
Listen, it matches the effort that EA puts into copying, pasting the rosters in the game over. So who would have guessed it?
We'll talk about that for another day.
Maybe another time.
All the music on this show is heard by the band Power Glove. If you like what you hear, go to powergloveband.com for music, tour dates, and merch. I wanted to say that now before we say goodbye, because I think if you say goodbye, people just turn it off. Thank you all. Yep. They just turned it off right now. Thank you all very much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe, rate, review. It helps out the show greatly, or not. I don't know. We're just saying it because everyone wants to say it because we're followers. You can follow me on Twitter at Chase Bunker. You can follow Kyle on Instagram at Scandinavian_sensations. If you want to watch the show on YouTube, youtube.com/thatgameshow, where you can see Kyle just make a lot of weird faces and movements while I talk normally. He kind of does his own show within a show in a way. So for Kyle Helmstetter, I'm Chase Bunker. Thank you all very much for listening, and we'll talk to you all in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you check out more episodes on iTunes and on our YouTube page, youtube.com/thatgameshow. And follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/thatgameshow.